Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Kashif Kamran. Advanced Audit and Assurance September 23 exams are just under a month away. And this is the right time that I should be discussing with you the exam tips and techniques for the upcoming exam. Now, first of all, it is very important for all of you that you do an analysis of where are you standing today in terms of your exam preparations for the September exams. And in terms of that analysis, you need to identify how much syllabus or how much practice is still left in. So you can identify the gaps from now till the day of your exam. And then you set up a timetable which can ensure that you have effectively covered the entire syllabus and you have practice plenty, because practice holds the key for success in the AAA exams. So you need to make up a timetable. You need to see how many days are left from today till the day of your exam. Where are you standing today in terms of your preparation? How much is left? Identify the gaps, overcome the gaps, because you still have good enough time ahead of your exams for September 23. And if you make a very good timetable and you stick to it, you will definitely be moving towards success in the triple exam. Now, today I will be discussing with you some key exam tips, which I believe will contribute significantly when you are devising a plan ahead of your September 23 exams. So let's have a look at what is in store for this exam tips session. Now, I will be covering 7 aspects today. Number 1, the recent developments since September 22. Number 2, financial reporting knowledge. Number 3, must to read articles, 10 of them. Number 4, practice. Number 5, examiner reports. Number 6, key tips. Number 7, invest in the revision webinars. Let's go one by one in each of the 7 aspects. The first one is the recent changes in the AAA paper since September 22. Now, it is almost a year since these changes came in, but there is a risk that you are unaware of it, primarily for those students who are doing a self-preparation for AAA and are not enrolled with any tutor or any college. Please ensure that you have a holistic idea of the changes which have come in since September 22 in the AAA paper, and you have covered them in a very perfect manner. Let's look at the changes since September 22. You should be aware of the recent developments since the September 22 exams, and the list of the changes are as follow. Number 1, the way the materiality is calculated and commented on in the question number 1. And I hope if you've seen the past papers from September 22 onwards, you must have seen the way the partner puts a statement on materiality and the factor the partner wants the materiality to be determined. And when you are writing the briefing note, how you ensure that you have incorporated that factor in determining and calculating your materiality, and the judgment on the right threshold of materiality you will be using across your question 1 answer. Number 2, how to identify the significant audit risk. We know this terminology has came in since September 22 exam, where the examiner asks you to evaluate the significant audit risk. And you need to be particularly clear about how to go about identifying and defining or explaining the significant audit risk. Number 3, how to prioritize the significant audit risk. It's not just about the significance of the risk, it's also about how you prioritize them in terms of the most important to least important. Now, all these aspects are covered in my webinars. And that is why the number 7th point was to invest in webinars. And I'll come to that, because each of the recent changes you are looking for in terms of your screen have already been covered in my webinars. But my webinars are now a paid version since December 22. I tried covering this aspect in my September 22 webinar on YouTube, which was free and publicly available. But since December 22, my webinars are a paid content now, and each and every aspect of the recent changes have been covered into it. So if you are interested and you want to invest in it, I'll come back to that shortly. Number 3 was to prioritize the significant risks, and that has been well guided in my webinars. Number 4 is how to evaluate the significant business risk. So that term significant will be attached to every risk in the question number 1. And you need to go down to explaining the significant risk. Now, what exactly significant mean in the context of business risk, or what exactly significant mean in the context of an audit risk, that has been covered in my webinars, and even the prioritization part of the audit risk. You need not to do the prioritization for the business risk, but yes, you need to do the prioritization for the audit risk and the risk of material misstatements. Number 5 is the quality management standards, which have come in, replacing the quality control standards in September 22. And you should be aware of the quality management standards. Ensure you're not doing the quality control, you're doing quality management. ISQM 1 and 2, again, which is covered as part of my webinars as well. The revised ISA 220, you're not doing the old ISA 220, you're doing the revised ISA 220, because that is extremely important. And number 7, the addition of the new other assignment, syllabus area F, namely assurance of social, environmental, and sustainability information, part 1 and part 2. So in terms of other assignments in the AAA paper, this is addition to the other assignments known as assurance of social, environmental, and sustainability information, part 1 and 2. And I have covered my videos on both the parts in my webinar. These are 7 areas where I want each and every one of you to focus on, because these are recent changes since September 22, and the impact they have on your paper is significant. Because in the first question, you will see the way the materiality is calculated and comment on. In the first question, you will see significant risk, prioritizing risk. This is all part of the first question. Quality management is making an impact in the section B. Since quality management standards have been upgraded, they are a regular feature of your exams, and they're highly probable even for September 23 exams. The new assignment, assurance on social, environmental, and sustainability information, is also very important for the upcoming exams, because these are recent changes. And if you ignore the recent changes, or if you overlook the recent changes, you are calling yourself into deep troubles. So this is the first thing. The second, financial reporting standards. We know financial reporting knowledge plays a very crucial part in your AAA paper, particularly in the question on risk, in the question on report, and in the question on audit evidence. These are 3 critical areas where you should be very strong at. Now, you should be very good into financial reporting areas, because they will help you answer a question on risk, audit report, and audit evidence. And that is the reason it is always recommended that you do the SBR paper alongside the AAA paper, or SBR paper before the AAA paper. That is very, very crucial. Let's have a look at the financial reporting knowledge you should be aware of. You need to be strong in the financial reporting knowledge, as this holds keys in your success in the areas of risk reporting and audit evidence. Be watchful of the regularly examined financial reporting standards. All the standards which are in the SBR syllabus are examinable in AAA. I need to make that very clear. But the list you are looking for in the bullet number 2 is the one which are very regularly coming in exam papers. But that doesn't mean this is the only list. No, the list which you cover in SBR is the whole list which is applicable to the AAA paper as well, right? But this is some of the standards which are very regular. For example, impairment, provisions, intangible assets, share-based payment, revenue recognition. These are very, very common areas. Change of accounting policy and estimates, how to account for them, grant, how to account for grant, foreign currency translations, related party transactions and the disclosures of them, investment property and how you account for the investment property in the statement of financial position, and the accounting treatments primarily for joint ventures, accounting treatment for associates, accounting treatments for goodwill and intercompany balances. These are more regular areas. But again, the whole list of SBR is applicable for the AAA paper. Be good in this, because this will really help you in writing a strong answer for report, evidence, and risk. The third area, must to read technical articles. Now, there are plenty of technical articles on the website for AAA, but these are must-to read where I would like all of you to focus on ahead of your September 23 exams. There are 10 of them. On the left-hand side of the screen, you can see articles for syllabus area B, C, and D, and they're segregated on the website, so you can easily identify these articles under the respective syllabus areas. Under the syllabus area B, the article name is Ethics in the AAA Exams, which tells you how to answer a question on ethics. So this is not a knowledge article, but this is how to answer a question on ethics. Under the syllabus area C, which I was discussing about, the quality management standards, which have been upgraded. So if you want to read the examiner article around the quality management standard part 1 and the quality management standard part 2, along with the ISA 220 revised, you can get hold of those articles under the syllabus area C. Under the syllabus area D, exam technique 1, planning question and risk part 1, how to answer an audit risk question, how to answer a ROM question. Exam technique 2, planning question and risk part 2, how to answer a business risk question. So again, these are technique articles, how to answer a question. So if you want to read the mindset of the examiner and you're self-preparing yourself and you don't want to invest in the webinars, what is significant, what is prioritized, how to go down with prioritizing, how to go down with significance. These aspects have been covered by the examiner in the article Technique 1 and Technique 2 under the syllabus area D. So please ensure you read them. Number 6, under the syllabus area D, answering section A question in the advanced audit and assurance exams. Examiner has covered the question number 1 in this article and has informed students on the types of questions which can come in question number 1, including some changes in the way the risk question can be examined in the future exams. Already we have seen that change implemented in the June 23 exam paper. So be aware of the way the risk question can be asked in future exams by reading through this article. And again, if you invest in the webinar, you will get a better idea from the tutor in the video session. On the right-hand side of the screen, syllabus area E and F. Under the syllabus area E, read through the going concern article because we know going concern is an important area and you should not ignore it. And then there is an article under the syllabus area E, which is auditor report to those charged with governance. Under the syllabus area F, the new assignment, assurance of social, environmental, and sustainability information part 1, and then the part 2. So that makes a list of 10. If you're a self-study student, you can go down, download them, read them. At least you're not ignoring them. If you want to invest in the webinars, I'll just come back to it. So these are must-to-read articles, 10 of them. Practice of the past papers, because we know practice holds the key to success in the AAA exams. The more you practice, the better you are. Now, there's a big problem when I say practice of the past papers, because I've seen students running after revision kits, solving revision kit once, twice, thrice, not even just solving the Kaplan kit, but also solving the BPP kit. Is that the right methodology of practice in context of AAA? Let's have a critical review of practice of the past papers. Is it the quality of practice or is it the quantity of practice? That is something where I'm very concerned about. I believe it is the quality which will make you pass. When I say practice, and I say practice holds the key to success, it's the practice of the recent papers. Because if you do old papers, you're not getting the right exam rigor for September 23. You're not meeting the mindset of the examiner for September 23 because examining team mindset changes over time. So if you're doing papers from 14, 13, 12, something, and you're preparing for 23 exams, you're not doing justice to it. But yes, if you're doing papers in the inverse order from 23, 22, 21, you're better preparing yourself for the upcoming exams. So to me, you need to attempt all recent papers which are available on the practice platform. And on the practice platform, the papers are available from 2020, then 2021, then 2022, and then 2023, the recent paper, March, June 23, including the practice exams post September 22. So you will see the practice exams from September 22 onwards. Do practice them because of the changes coming in the question number 1. And then the mock exam for September 23, which will be published by ACCA after the mid of August 23. Plenty of practice. If you do the papers which are on the practice platform, along with the practice exams applicable from September 22 onwards and the mock exam, you have attained the right exam rigor for your upcoming September 23. If you do all these papers and you still want to practice more, you can go back to 2019 and 2018 September maximum. I would not prefer you go behind September 18. So your practice zone should focus on the quality of practice so that you understand the mindset of the examiner, not the quantity of practice, because you might be doing something which is old, outdated, and you're not attaining the right definition for September 23 exams. So this is what I believe should be the case when you're doing the practice of the past papers, and the time you invest on the practice platform is very, very important. Don't try to do the answers manually. Try to do them on the practice platform. Try to use the blank workspace for the answers, for the questions which are not available on the practice platform. But the encouragement has to be the practice platform here. The next aspect, examiner reports. To me, this is the most important resource for AAA. I would rate this as the #1 resource, and the investment you do on this resource will help you pass the paper. If you understand the importance of this resource published by ACCA and why it is published. A lot of time I've seen students that this is the least used resource among the student community. Either they're running after examiner answers. Number 2, they're running after articles. The least is examiner reports. Why? Because you need to investigate this examiner report as a source of success. And if you follow my guidance, which I'm just giving you, you will really see the difference in terms of the perception you have about the AAA paper and the problems the student do in the AAA paper. You will easily overcome them. To me, this is the best resource for success. That's what I've just mentioned. Critically review latest 2 examiner reports. I'm not saying 3, I'm not saying 4. I know the time is a sense. So latest 2 examiner reports, critically review them to identify the weak areas why student fail in the AAA paper, and note them carefully on a piece of paper and to avoid them as when you're practicing your papers. Critically review. A lot of time when you see the examiner reports, they say stronger student. They appreciate student for something good they have done in question 1, 2, 3. And sometimes they say weaker students. You need to do the analysis between stronger students and weaker students. Examiner also tells you the student should do this in the future exams. They also give you a word of encouragement. Follow that. Examiner also gives you some examples of what should have been done. For example, examiner might tell you how to write a good procedure sometime. Or examiner might tell you this is the way you should have written the ethics answer. So you can learn a lot, because to me, examiner report is not just a criticism. It's not just focusing on the negative things. It is a constructive criticism looking at the strength and the weaknesses, and you can learn through them. So if you can keep just a red and a green pen with you and you read through it, wherever you find something positive, do underline that in green. Where you find something negative, underline that in red. And once you read through the examiner report, see how much red and green you got from one examiner report. Try to overcome the red. Try to overcome the red. Don't repeat the red yourself. And try to ensure you implement the greens in your paper. And that's the best way you can secure success in the AAA paper. So please ensure you invest in 2 recent examiner reports. I think the most recent is the March-June 23, and before that would be perhaps December 22. The second last, tips. Coverage of the whole syllabus is essential. Practice of the past papers, which I've just guided you on the practice platform, is essential. Knowing all the accounting standards that you do in SPR is essential, because you cannot just You cannot just say, okay, I'll do the selective course and pass the AAA paper. I do the selective standards and I pass the AAA paper. Or I do the selective practice and pass the AAA paper. No. When you are pairing for the first time, you need to complete everything. If you're repeating, then that's a different story. Let's look at some of the key tips which could be lifesaver for you in the upcoming exams. But again, these tips are just the probabilities. This is just my perception. And probabilities cannot be 100% accurate. This is not scientific accuracy, right? Business risk looks likely for September 23 AAA paper, along with audit risk or ROM. We know business risk never comes alone. But the chance of business risk coming in is higher. But again, this is just a probability. Number 2, ensure you have strong hold on ISQM 1 and 2, including the revised ISA 220, either through the articles or through my webinars. Since the updated standards were released in September 22, they are regularly examined, section B of the paper. So it's almost like in every single exam setting since September 22, a question on quality management is coming in, and you should be good on quality management area. Now, it's up to you how you want to be good on it. You're enrolled in a regular course, wonderful. You want to take the webinars or you want to do self-practice. Number 3, testing of other assignments for the upcoming exams looks very important. In the section B, we know that is examined, including the new addition of assurance on social, environmental, and sustainability information. I just mentioned that at the beginning of my session. That particular assignment looks very important. Along with that, assignments like PFI, we know PFI is one of the favorite area of your examiner and quite regularly repeated. And the due diligence review looks very probable for the upcoming September 23 exam. So these are some of the probabilities in certain areas for the upcoming exams, which might help you refine your study plans for September 23. But again, the full coverage of the syllabus holds the key. The last thing, invest in the revision webinars. If you are doing a self-study, this is ideal for you because this could be a lifesaver for you. This could be a difference between you passing and failing. If you're repeating the AAA paper and you've given multiple attempts, this is an ideal course for you. If you've taken classes from another college or a tutor and you just want to do a refinement and you want to understand AAA in a more holistic manner, this is the right revision package for you and comes at a very affordable fees. And when I say affordable fees, it is really an affordable fees. Let's see what can you get through in the revision webinars. You will get access to the premium webinars from December 22 onwards because they were paid and not available on my YouTube. You will get access to the premium mock debriefs I've done for December 22, March 23, and June 23. You will get access to the premium videos I've done on all the new articles published since September 22. You will get access to the current issue, updates, if any. You will get access to the live September 23 webinar, which I will be doing by the mid of August. And that live would again be recorded and uploaded on the portal if you missed it out. You will have access to my resources, my notes, my presentations. You will have access to the WhatsApp group where you can chat with me for your problems and issues. You will have access to getting feedback on your answers. You can write any answer, send me for review, and I'll give you a feedback on it. The total lecture hours is like 55, including the live September 23 webinar. If you deduct the live webinar, it is like 43 hours. An affordable, low fees. So if you are interested in this revision package, what you need to do is you just need to WhatsApp me for admission. You can WhatsApp me at a given number on the screen, and you can visit my LMS as well, and you can directly buy the webinar from there. But if you struggle, just WhatsApp me. I'll send you the link, how to register, how to pay, and I can send you links of bank transfer, PayPal, whatever is convenient for you. But this is the way to get to me. Just simply WhatsApp me at +92 333 238 3442. And you get hold of this webinar, which could be the best decision you're taking for the next 1 month ahead of your September 23 exams. So I hope you thoroughly enjoyed these tips. You will make a timetable. You will analyze where you are standing today and how much is left, and try to fill the gap with the right timetable. The guidance, the tips, which has been shared with you in this session, I hope that will really help you out in terms of utilizing the remaining days in a more effective manner. I wish you all the very best of luck and success for the upcoming September 23 exams. And for any issues, any queries, you can just WhatsApp me at a given number. Take care. Have a nice day. Study effectively. Your tutor Kashif Kamran signing off from the exam tips for AAA September 23 exams. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.